is in the house. Cruising down the road, bumping bass, feel the thrill. Subwoofers banging hard, yeah, we're making a scene. Windows down, hair flying, got the vibe, what a chill. Lights flashing bright, we're in a bass machine. With pretty ladies hanging tight inside this rolling show. Every car statement, yeah, we own this night. Let it blow. Get loud, turn it up to shake the ground. Get loud, feel the music all around. Get loud, yeah. Get loud, drop the bass on the crowd. Get low, get down, let it hit the ground. Turn it up, smell the smoke in the air. Crank it up all the way, like it just don't care. Throw that hair. Feel the beat, feel the drive, let that be tough, feel alive. Bass pounding down the line, move your body, breaks the time. Let it shake, let it roll, kick drums echo in your soul. Deep vibrations, take control, feel the music, make it whole. Get loud, turn it up to shake the ground. Get loud, feel the music all around. Get loud, yeah. Get loud, get loud, get loud, get loud, get
Is that better? Sorry about that. Uh, so yeah, I'm a doofus. You know, it is what it is. Thanks for the heads up there, Jimmy Barrett. And what's up, everybody? I seen you all giving me greetings. Jimmy said his blood pressure is up. That's the only problem I don't have is high blood pressure, guys. I got all kinds of problems, but my blood pressure has always been stellarly good. So that's crazy, right? Anyway, I got a lot done today, finishing up. Uh, if we're honest, I could have had it playing today, but I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do the turn on system. The For the turn on for the for the remote. I haven't decided on whether I'm going to have it on the ignition or whether I'm just going to put it on a switch. I think I'm going to put it on a switch because whenever I'm doing demos, I may be sitting there playing music at a low volume or whatever, and I don't even need to have the vehicle running, you know, for that kind of stuff. And I'm tuning, got my vehicle out there, got the battery charger hooked up, and I'm tuning on it for 2 or 3 hours at a time, sitting there listening to it. I don't need to have it running that whole time or have the key on and have all the stuff, powered up. So just having a switch is actually a good thing. Um, oh man, Bobby said, "Get things done this weekend." Yeah, I've been trying hard. I got one more day of. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna call it warm weather, but I think it's supposed to be in the low 40s tomorrow. Then it's going to drop hard tomorrow night, and it's going to be cold for like 2 or 3 weeks. So as long as I don't feel like crap tomorrow, because it's always a gamble. When I wake up, I don't know how it's going to be, man. I don't know how my night's going to go or how I'm going to wake up. But as long as I get a good night's sleep and I don't wake up feeling like crap, um, I'll get it finished. I'll get it playing tomorrow. It won't be finished tomorrow, mind you. There's still a whole lot of crap to do. I've got the whole back end to do. I've got a whole lot of dress up to do in multiple places. I got a bunch of stuff to do in the cab. But I'm hoping by tomorrow afternoon, I'll be able to turn it on and listen to it. That's what I'm hoping for. And yeah, I could have done it today. Oh, Bobby, you suck, man. Bobby said it was in the 50s. Not here, man. It was like 35. It got up to like 35. I got out there. It was like right at freezing. As long as there's not a breeze blowing or any wind, man, you can stand some really cold temperatures as long as there's no wind. Uh, but if there's a breeze blowing, son, that changes everything. I can go out there and function in the 20s, as long as there ain't no wind. But if you got like a 5-10 mile an hour breeze blowing, oh, it's over. I'm in the house, man. It's over. That shuts it down right there. Um, so how has everybody been this week? So now last week I didn't have a show, and I apologize. Um, I just didn't feel like messing with it. I had a bad day. I was very tired, and I just wasn't. I wasn't up for it, and I apologize for that. I did have a show Saturday though, so there is that. Covering for Andy. So Bobby B has been working. He's going to eventually get his build done, and I keep seeing little slivers of his work, and he's got it looking real good, man. I'm really impressed with it. Uh, he does really clean, meticulous work. Slow, very slow, but it's worth it in a while. And me, I'm doing the best I can. I'm my work isn't going to be perfect. It's not going to be amazing, but I want it to be solid. Uh, I want it to be clean and reliable, solid. Something that doesn't break, that doesn't mess up. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I was tearing stuff out in there from the last build, I found a speaker wire running to my driver door, and it had somehow or another, it had been cut almost entirely in two. And I had been having issues with that driver door, random issues, for a long time. It would just be everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it would just start cutting out. And I'm digging the speakers out, trying to find what's going on, where the short's at, what's happening. Everything was fine. I keep digging, I keep changing speakers or in and out, doing all this. All the while, it was a speaker wire running up there in the middle of the vehicle. I didn't have any idea that it was bad. Somehow it got smashed or whatever, pinched in, almost in two. So yeah, that was driving me batshit crazy for a long time. Um, oh, it is, Bobby. I can tell you some. I can tell you some secrets to the that TechFlex cover, and I've used a lot of it. The number one secret is get it too small. Go for stuff that's quite a bit too small to where it's really tight on the wire. Um, it's going to be a whole lot easier to work with if you do that. Um, and number two, if you already figured this out, is to use the heat shrink that has a lot of glue in it. Like specifically look for the marine grade stuff. Now, I like these little packages that come with 10 lugs and five. It comes with 10 lugs, five red heat shrinks, and five black heat shrinks. Uh, and it's like $10 for the package. It's like to right about $10. And that heat shrink that they put in that package is really, really good. It's got a lot of glue in it, and it's a good, thick, heavy duty heat shrink. I love using that. So it's a great deal. I mean, $10 for 10 lugs and heat shrinks for all of them. Sign me up, dude. Um, I have them listed in my cart. Uh, Jimmy said, make a decision. Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, it does. See, Bobby said it likes to fray a lot. Um, yeah, like I said, a lot of people say, I've heard people say, you take a lighter to it and melt it. That doesn't really work. Uh, what works for me, man, is to pull it through, have an extra hanging over the lug, and then heat shrink it, and then like heat shrink the very end and kind of let it go up inside the heat shrink. So you kind of melt it a little bit on the end where the TechFlex is, and leave that other part of the heat shrink a little big, and then you cut it and let it kind of suck up in there, and then you heat shrink it down. It's really hard to get that stuff to work. I know. Like I said, I messed with it. I've used electrical tape on the end of it before you heat shrink it. That works. Just wrap a couple wraps of electrical tape around it, and then put your heat shrink on. Uh, it just. I also did one where I would wrap the electrical tape around it, and then take and fold the TechFlex back over the electrical tape, and then heat shrink on top of that. That works too. But yeah, it's pain, but it looks really good when you're done. Oh, there's a fabric version of it too. If you order the fabric stuff, it's more expensive. You'll know that you're getting it because it's a lot more expensive. But it doesn't have that fraying problem. It's a whole different game. It's just a lot more expensive. Big Mike said, "What's up? What's up, Big Mike? We were just sitting around whining about the woes of car audio." Bobby said he's using a half inch for. I was doing that stupid thing again. Um, Using a half inch for alt gauge wire. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm jamming. A half inch is really good. I use 3/8. I use 3/8 for 8 gauge and 4 gauge wire, and a half inch for alt gauge wire. That's what I always go with. Um, 5 feet with a glue on it. Yeah. Check into what I was talking about though. It comes in a little rectangular box, clear box, and has 10 copper lugs and 5 black heat shrinks and 5 red heat shrinks. Are at $10. That little kit is really, really good. That heat shrink that comes in it is great. They're good lugs. It's a good price. Um, Franco Quaid said, question, I'm putting a kicker line out converter in a 2017 Equinox. Which speaker wire should I grab, the front or the back? Okay. Where are you going to be? Let's see. You're wanting to use the converter to power subwoofer, I guess. And if that's the case, on an Equinox, I would probably push you towards the front door speaker, that usually on a stock stereo system today in today's world, the front door is where they're getting all the bass set, unless it's got its own subwoofer in it already. If that's the case, then you could pull the signal to one of that subwoofer. But if not, then the front door is going to be your best spot. Usually, the front door is where you're going to get a full range signal. That's what you want. You want a full range signal to be able to run into your amplifier. If you grabbed it from the back, there's a good chance those are going to be rolled off at like 80 hertz, which means you won't be able to get any sub bass out of them. They'll suck for that. Let's see. The electrical tape didn't work out for me. Yeah, that's tricky, man. Like I said, on the electrical tape, you tape it like in the neck of the connector, and then you have the Teflex hanging out to where the eye hole is for the bolt to go through. You have it hanging out there, then you tape it in the neck, and then you flip it back on itself, and then the frayed part will be right at the very almost back to where the heat shrink's going to go, and all of that gets compressed into the heat shrink. If you do it right, it works really good. If you do it wrong, it's just a mess. So Freco said no factory amp. I mean, if you've got an RTA or you got somebody that has an RTA, you can RTA the front stage and make sure you're getting a low end signal. But if you don't have that, that's going to be where I would go to, is the front doors. How about that new X-Max 90 battery? I'm not, my brain is not there. Oh, and I think I've seen something about that. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it, but I think I've seen something about that. Not familiar enough to really discuss it yet, though. Franco, quite, thank you. You're very welcome, Franco. Bobby said I end up cutting the Teflex with scissors and using the torch to singe edges. You can do that as long as you do it carefully. It's not always easy being cheesy, man. I've had mixed luck with the melting trick, but so what do y'all think? Should I do ignition or switch? I know I'm going to have my lights on a switch. I think the switch is going to be key. I really do. Fuego's in the house. Hello from the Pacific Northwest. Bobby B reminded me again. Bobby B reminds me. He reminds me, y'all. Half the time I wouldn't even do a live if it wasn't for Bobby B. I'd totally forget about it. Now today, I had it on my own today. I was ready. Some days I'm just like, swimming through molasses, and I don't even know whenever. I don't know nothing. All of a sudden, a message will pop up, and Bobby's like, wakey, wakey, put down the snaky. I'm like, oh man, I am so bad, dude. So yeah, I struggle with it too, man. He reminds me to do my show. So, oh goodness gracious, guys, I haven't got a whole lot to talk about tonight. I just mainly wanted to talk about the build and get your guys' opinions. You're as up to date on it as I am. If you've watched my last video up that I put up, that is exactly where I am today. And what I typically do is I'll upload a video every day. I upload what I do that day, it gets uploaded that day. So at the end of the night, if you see what it looks like I'm at, that is literally where I'm at. I'll upload the video within a couple of hours of shooting the last part. So, And let's see. W said, good day, good day. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning over. I don't know what time it is. Franco said, I made one of those homemade kicker RTAs. Just need to download the app for it. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Honestly, man, get I need to get one. They got meters, voltmeters with the RTA in them that are really getting inexpensive on Amazon. I mean, for $50, you can pick up one that has a reasonably good analyzer on it, uh, and that'll tell you it's gonna. You can set gains with it. You could do all kinds of stuff, man. So yeah. Oh, okay. W said it's lunchtime. Wait a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Bobby said, I'm waiting on some sky high lugs to finish. The lugs I have fit the new concepts, but not the sky high oversized one on. Yeah. Get some, just run double or two alt gauge. Two alt gauge copper lugs will work just fine for Sky High's big wire and for GP's big wire. GP's got some big wire. I run two alt gauge on the larger stuff, and it works fine. Um, Same thing run if you run into those ferrules when you're using ferrules. If you want to big ferrules for that larger wire, they're going to need to run two alt ferrules. Let's see, because all car audio wire is oversized compared to what the wire gauge is supposed to be. It's all expanded a little bit. Yeah, you Bobby, you're the man, dude. So it said it's lunchtime. Okay, yeah. Well, yo, okay. I'm not as far off track as I thought I was. What brand of lug crimper am I using? A Tempco. I use Tempco crimper, dude. That's the only one I mess with. Uh, I've got a couple of others. I got a hydraulic crimper, which sucks. I've got another one that looks like bolt cutters. I got that, dude. I still will use it every once in a while in a very specific situation. Like if I got a wire that's up in some place and I got to get a lug on it and there's no way to get anything else in there to it, I'll use those to do it. But it does such an ugly job. They work. It makes a good connection. It's just not pretty. So that's my go-to for the ridiculous things where I just got to get it done. But any other time, if it's any way possible, I use my Tempco crimper, the dialless crimper. I love it, dude. Best freaking crimper I bought, and it was the best investment I made in this whole hobby was buying that stupid Tempco crimper, that dialless crimper. Best investment ever for a tool for this hobby. Um, let's see here. Bobby, the lugs are open. Debbie said, Bobby, the lugs are on the way, bro. Already bought. Hell yeah, man. W, what's up, El Fuego? Let's see here. What's up, Fuego? Bobby B got me a little El Fuego mascot for Man Rig. El Fuego mascot. I'll have to see that. Got to see it. I want to see a picture. Uh, let's see. And Bobby said 4-gauge CCA is better than 8-gauge welding wire. No, no way. Look, guys. Here's the thing about CCA. As far as conducting power, okay, if you use double the size, it's about equal to. So a 4-gauge of a CCA is about equal to an 8-gauge copper in conductivity. Okay, but even though you've doubled the size to get the same conductivity, you still have the problem with aluminum breaking down. It doesn't age well. It turns to powder. And also, the wires are fairly weak and easy to destroy. When you're putting a set screw in on an amplifier, where you got that little worm screw that you're screwing in there, it will bust through the wire and tear the wire, and you'll end up with a connection that will just can be pulled out pretty easily because that aluminum just breaks inside that connector, where copper doesn't do that. Um, it's the real deal. You don't have to worry about the corrosion of the aluminum. You don't have to worry about keeping it dry. If you live over on the coast, it'll eat it in no time. Um, but aluminum is just not good to run in a car. It's just not good for anything in a car. I run it on speaker wires because that's all internal. It's all inside the vehicle, and it's up, and it works fine for that. But any kind of power runs where you're worried about something, maybe shorting out and doing bad things, I mean, you want to run copper for all that. Play It and Live It said, caught me today. I don't know. You said you caught me. I'm not sure where you caught me at. Or if you're talking to me, you could be talking to somebody else. Bobby said, if it goes on fire, I use zero gauge. Fuego said, I use zero gauge CCA on my test bench. Am I going to audio hell? No, it's fine, man. As long as you're doubling up on it compared to copper, and it's inside where it's never going to get exposed to humidity and water on a test bench where it's all visible, sure, man. The copper clad aluminum is fine for that. It'll conduct as long as you double up on it. It'll conduct just fine. It's just not good outside. That's where the real problem comes in. It's not good outside. It's not good to go in a connector where you're not going to be looking at it constantly. Something that's going to be hid under the hood or hid under the seat or in the floorboard or around those connections, because that shit will go bad and then your car will burn up. The problem solves itself. It will eat itself. It will burn the car up and then the problem goes away. That's how it works. I've seen it. I've seen it get caught before it burned the car up, and I've seen it cook cars. I'm telling you, stay away from CCA on your power runs. Just saying. I've seen it. I don't want none of my people having problems. Fuego said you start losing wattage on CCA cabling too. If you're not doubling up, yes, you will. If you're doubling it though, you can get by with that. It's not the performance. It's not the performance of CCA that's the problem. It's the durability, the chemical durability of CCA. Aluminum just breaks down into a powder. Copper doesn't. You see my stream? Got you. Oh yeah, you caught me. You caught me. So you're saying, hey, I'm here. I caught you. Yeah, you did, man. Nice to see you. Play it and live it. I got you. Fuego said, I would never use CCA in an audio installation or even in my garage. Yeah, it's not a good idea, man. Like I said, man, if you do everything right, if you seal it up and you seal up the ends where you got good glue on your heat shrink and there's really good locked in, sealed up ends, and all the stuff's done right, you've doubled it up and you do all the things right, it's still, there's a higher chance of a problem than there would be if it were copper. And if anything in that whole chain gets a spot in it, then you've got a little cancer that eats its way into that wire. And given time, I'm not, look, when the space shuttle and the Apollo missions went up into space, when they were shooting the rockets up into space and the space shuttle up into space, Every single ounce of weight counted. I mean, hundreds of dollars for an ounce of weight, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a couple of pounds of weight. And none of those missions used aluminum wiring in any of those rockets or space shuttles because it's that important. There was significant weight added to it because of the copper, but they were not going to put aluminum in there. There's a good reason for that. Uh, and I agree. I agree with you, man. CCA is basically, in my opinion, it's pretty much worthless. It's just not. It's not good for anything. You know, it's like selling somebody a Saturday night special pistol. What good is that? You say, well, I could shoot somebody in a tight. I could shoot somebody at point blank range with it. But if it's a piece of shit pistol, there's a good chance it's not even going to fire when you have to use it. You can't hunt with it. It's a good chance it ain't going to shoot whenever you shoot it. There's also a pretty good chance you're going to shoot yourself with it because it's going to malfunction and shoot you. It's worthless. It has no value whatsoever. The same as that CCA wire. It just has no value. You know, you buy the thing that's going to do the job. And W said OFC wins. Yeah, 100%, man. It's just not. It's not good. Um, Silver strand wire. eh, I do like Windy Nation, Jimmy. Fuego said silver stranded wire is the way to go, but a bit rich for my blood. I haven't messed with it, so I can't speak intelligently on that choice. Jimmy's talking about 2-alt Windy Nation. Yeah, I'm down with that. I like uh, Flex, something Flex. Flex. I can't think of the name of it. It's called Flex something. Flex Whip. FLEXWHIP. Look that up. Google that. Flex Whip power wire, welding wire. Flex Whip welding wire. The reason I like it is because it has a several thousand degree jacket. The jacket literally won't burn or melt. And it has a very, very, very soft, malleable, flexible wire. If you guys are familiar with New Concepts wire, how noodly it is, it's like that. But it's welding wire. It's significantly less expensive. And it has a casing on it that can take all the heat you can throw at it. And trust me, I've tested that. That's one of my favorite wires. And I would say if you're wanting to start a new build and you want to invest in wire, go for a 2-alt gauge of that Flex Whip. And you're going to be very happy with that. CCA, and I've used Windy Nation too. Windy Nation has a tougher jacket. It still has the heat resistance. It's good wire, but it's stiffer. It doesn't have the flexibility. That Flex Whip is really soft and malleable. It has all the characteristics that you're looking for in a good wire. I used CCA in the past, and it is easier to deteriorate. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It just breaks down. If you're out on the coast and you're getting close to the ocean where you got that salt water, if you look at a car that's been out there, they get this white powder all over the aluminum parts under the hood, aluminum wheels. They get this powdery white, and they sit there and corrode like that. They're just falling apart. Well, that wire, that copper clad aluminum wire, is just going to do the same exact thing. And it happens everywhere, but it happens more out there because there's more salt in the air. If we go send out a bunch of CCA for sale for free to a good home. Yeah. What I use, I accidentally ordered I was on New Concepts one night and I was ordering a bunch of stuff, and I accidentally ordered like 20 feet of purple and 20 feet of blue alt gauge CCA wire, completely by accident. I didn't realize it until I got it in the mail, and I grabbed the wire up and I was like, oh man. I grabbed the package and I knew as soon as I picked the package up, I was like, what did I do? Right? The only thing I've found it good for is hanging on the wall as a decoration. I haven't used any of it anywhere. I've got some hanging on my it's just up there to make the wall look busier. Um, Silver being the most conductive. Um, I don't know. That's debatable. Um, I've heard that silver and gold, are more conductive. Um, but there's problems with all that stuff. There's different properties when it comes to conductivity and conductors, because number one, silver and gold they suck at making wire because they're so easy to break. They get hard and snap real easy, so you can't really make a wire out of it. You can coat other wires with it, but is the difference really is the difference really there, or is it one of those things where you assume it is and you pay big money for it so you see it? You know what I mean? But is it really there, or is it confirming your good choice by seeing it, even though you haven't really seen it? That's what I'm saying. Because you get into some serious snake oil stuff when you start getting into the directional wires and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, silver is extremely highly conductive, no doubt. Sky High, New Concepts. Sky High has got good wire. I honestly though, I like GP's wire better than Sky High. If I'm ordering wire that I want big old chunky power wires, that's GP. I'm going to go through GP. I think their wire is better than Sky High. It's not a lot better, but I think it's better. Um, there he is. What's up, Travis? Travis is in the house. Uh, I got things going on, man. We got Tahoe things going on. I'm down to just putting in my remote turn on wires and RCA cables. That's it. The thing it's done, all but that. Like just a few minutes worth of work, really. But I can't wait to see what you're gonna be doing, man, with that new van you got, the free puppies van. Bobby said New Concepts 10. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not cheap, man. And Sky High is even higher. Check over on GP though. Check on GP's site. See what's going on there. Fuego said I have some 8 gauge CCA that would be good for decorative jewelry. Yeah, there you go. Jump rope, man. Gold is the third most conductive. Yeah. Uh, Something that's hard and snaps sounds painful. Yeah, it probably would be, man. Uh, oh, I know. Uh, Bobby said that stinger wire he sent me is OFCD. That's good wire, man. I didn't use it in the build because I don't want to break it down. It's a nice long piece, and I try to keep those long pieces for when I need a long runs. I don't want to break it down, so I've been using bits and pieces. Um, but yeah, I'm totally digging it. Uh, and Travis said he'd been watching. What's up, man? You can always come by if you want. If you get bored. Tyler knows where I live. He can tell you how to get to my house. Tyler's been over here several times delivering stuff. Stop by and say hi. I'll be out there tomorrow working on it. I'm gonna get it tomorrow. We're gonna get it playing tomorrow. Okay, it's gonna be playing, provided I'm not a total wreck in the morning and I physically feel like going out and doing things, which I'm gonna try my best to do that. It's a struggle some days, but provided that, I'm going to have it planned by tomorrow afternoon. So And I'm hoping it's going to jam. I'll be out there tuning it tomorrow night. I can already tell y'all. I'm gonna be out there sitting in the Tahoe tomorrow night. I'm gonna be running the auto tune on it, and then I'm gonna be sitting up there tweaking it, and tweaking it. And yeah, I'm gonna be absorbed in awesomeness. Tuning is my favorite thing to do, and I'm gonna be sitting in there tuning for hours tomorrow night. So there you go. I'll be running Stinger 4000 RCAs. Stinger makes good RCAs. That actually, I think doesn't Stinger basically make? Well, now I don't know if they do anymore, but for a long time, if you went and bought any RCA cables from any high brand like JL, Rockford, Pioneer, Kenwood, any big brands, RCA cables, they all come from Stinger. Stinger made all of them. Now I don't think it's anymore. I think Phoenix Gold is in that. They own a bunch of stuff, but I don't think it's the same exact Stinger that it used to be. There's a different layout in the way all that's piled up. I don't know. Now Fuego said two out from the back or dual runs. Here's the rule for your front to back, meaning from your alternator to your battery, right? Whatever your alternator is producing, all you got to do is get that power to the back. If you're making 300 amps out of your alternator, you need one alt gauge wire to run that to the back. Seriously, if you want to make sure that you're covering it, run two, or run a dual alt gauge. But you don't need 6 runs of alt gauge from the alternator to your battery, because you're never going to be pushing that much power back there. It's not even going to. It's like having a 10-lane interstate when all you need is a bike pad. It's just dumb. If you're wanting to spend lots of money and make it look really cool, that's fine, but it's not going to help you any. That's what I'm getting at. So run enough wire to get the maximum power that your alternator is going to output back to where that power is going. And look at the wire gauge chart and use that to your benefit. There's a million of them on the internet. Look up a gauge chart, typically about 17 feet, 300 amps. You could easily run that with an alt gauge. I'm personally running 2 alt gauges, but I've got a 370 amp alternator and a 300 amp alternator whenever I add it to the mix. And those two will handle that. But adjust. That's why I normally just run the 370. Stinger 4000 is what I run, as recommended by Cornut and Dean. Yeah, can't go wrong with it, man. Dean makes a recommendation. I'm down with his. I'm down with his recommendations. I would say that's a solid choice as far as RCAs go. Right now, I'm going to be putting some kind of RCAs in, but I'm planning on trying to build my own RCAs using some Cat 7 cable. I want to do that. It's going to be a very short run, just like 5 feet total. Everything's right there. Not even that far. But I want to do it. I haven't done it yet, and I want to do it to get to learn how to do it and to see how well it works. But see, Cat 7 and Cat 6 and Cat 7 cable is double shielded. So each individual wire is shielded, then the bundle is shielded, then the whole cable is shielded. You could literally run that through a freaking hurricane of noise, and it would literally come out the other end totally clean. In my opinion, that's the best cable. And I'm wanting to do it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm wanting to. And so I'm probably going to do regular old cables for now, and they'll probably be just fine because of how my stuff's all routed. My cables, my delicate signal cables are way away from the power, so there shouldn't be any issues. But I want to do it just to learn it and to put it to practice. So Franco Quaid said, am I going to put any more plywood on the back of the box? Yes, I'm going to. What's going to be on the back is going to be a mostly show. I'm going to do a finished wall back there. I haven't decided exactly how that's going to go, but it is going to be finished out in some kind of way that it looks nice. I don't think I need to add any more structure to it because having the pallet wood turned on its edge, glued every other board like that, I think that edge board is going to provide a lot of rigidity. And so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going beyond that, but I know it will be something that'll look good in the end for sure. And he's asking me about the back too. And honestly, what's my plan? I have lots of options. Now I can tell y'all that I want to do all this crazy stuff and this crazy stuff, and all that would be cool. Stunt walls, lights, sirens, dancing, hookers, all that stuff would be cool, right? The reality of it is, though, is what do I want? Since this is my vehicle, right? This is what I drive all the time. This thing don't get parked and wait for the next show. And I'm not driving something else. This is what I drive around. So having the ability to haul things around that I actually use is a big deal. Having that space behind back there opened up, I could put in some tool bags, tool boxes. And whenever I go to a show, if somebody has an issue, I have a tool. I can help, you know. I can carry a cooler back there. I can do lots of things. I'm going to dress it up, I think. I'm going to dress it up and leave it basically open for activities like that. That's kind of what I got in my brain. But I'm going to probably have a sponsor wall. Back of the sub, be a sponsor wall where I'll have something like this up there. I've got a huge Big Jeff flag that I'm not sure if it's going to be up there, but I got one. I'm going to get one. I got to get a Slapz flag made up. So yeah, I don't know for sure yet, but that's where my mind is at essentially. Bobby B said, "What's the best way to figure out how much wire you need to run from the engine compartment to the back for power run?" I was thinking running it from front to back to see how much. Oh, distance wise, like how much? Okay. Well, if you're getting ready to order the wire, like if you haven't got it already and you just need to know how much you're going to need, right? If you've got a full size vehicle, a full size like a Tahoe or Suburban, something with some serious bigness to it, and your batteries are going to be located all the way in the back, you're going to probably want to order 18 to 20 feet per run. And it also depends on where you're running it at. If you want to get close though, what you can do is get a piece of wire. If you got any power cable or any kind of wire laying around, pull it through the build. Go to where it's going to connect, run it all the way through, just like you're going to run the other wire. After you get it pulled all the way in position, tape it off there and then measure that piece. And that'll tell you, pretty much exactly what you need to know. And if you order another tip, if you order a piece that's like, say you're going to do 2 runs, and so you order twice as much as that, like 40 feet or whatever, start at the end, pull the loop, hook up both ends of that wire to your engine compartment, and then run that loop, that hoop all the way through and pull it out. That way, when you get to the end and you figure out how much you actually need and you cut it off, that one big piece that's left will be all one long piece and not, 2 small pieces. It's just a nice way to save wire for later. So that's my suggestion. Then pulling it back out. thinking of running it from front to back to figure how much I need. Yeah, you could do that, man. Um, you could use any wire for that though. But yeah, that's exactly what I would do if you're going to Teflex the whole thing. Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're catching on, Bobby. That's kind of what I got in my brain. I got all this space, man. I might as well be using it for stuff that's handy. Um, if it was a build that was going to be sitting in the yard all the time and just only drove on special occasions and show days, I could do something different. I'd have a whole layout back there, something like what Flip has in his back of his vehicle. If you guys hadn't seen Flip, I can't even say the name. If you ain't seen his build, it's on my channel. I got it. I got a video up. It'll blow your mind. Mind blown. Beautiful. It's like a freaking pinball machine back there, an arcade or something. It's nuts. Bobby said, I already have 20 feet of sky high wire. It's going in a Dodge Ram quad cab behind the rear seat. That probably will, a Dodge Ram quad cab, that 20 feet will probably almost do 2 runs. It'll be close. It'd be real close, but it'd be close. I think it would almost do 2 runs. Fuego said, just remember what you're measuring. Don't assume 4 is really 8, like a lot of men, right? You don't want to do that. You want to keep it. You want to keep that shit in check, man. No cheating. No cheating on the test, man. you know, it's like, oh, son. What's I looking for? I forgot. Anyway, guys, anybody got any more questions? Fuego's so messed up. Cause I got some goulash in there. I'm finna get after here in a minute. See, I don't eat during the day. If I need to be active, I don't eat because once I eat, I'm done for the day. So I sit around and not do anything. I'm done. So yeah, food means nothing gets done. No, what I have the hardest time getting myself motivated, what I end up doing is, this is my trick for you guys that are like knowing you need to go do something or you want to go do something, but you're having a hard time starting it. My trick is I say, okay, I'm going to go do one thing, right? It's one thing. Today, my one thing was I was going to get my clothes on and walk outside and look at the Tahoe. Just look at it. Just look at it. One thing. And then once I get my ass out there, I'm like, it's not too bad. I start going, and then the things just start going, and it just keeps going, right? Falls into line. You just keep going until you've done some shit. That's how I do it. That's how I motivate myself. I just do the one thing, and then it just turns into more things. I don't know if it works. If that works for everybody, but it works for me. Thanks for the show in the chats. Yes, sir. Thank you for showing up, El Fuego. What do you think about quick connect for 4-gauge wire? Quick connect. You mean like big old plugs that snap together? If you're using something like a Molex plug or a Dean's plug, both of those are usually pretty good. But I don't know, man. It's debatable. I'd have to look at it specific and be specific about it before I'd give any kind of advice in that department. I like to know what I'm talking about before I answer questions, and I don't know 100% of what you're talking about. Bobby said, I got a couple feet left. I want to see the sky high wire run some battery to alternator. Feet left. If I want to use sky high wire to run from the battery to the alternator. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up too. And I'm not into the football, but y'all have fun with that football. As for me,
Riding down these back roads with the speakers bumping, got the bass dropping, feel the country thunder thumping. Flags flying high, you know I'm proud, and I'm stunned with a trunk full of subs, hearts beating and pumping. Small town rebel in my life in the fast lane. Music's my weapon, ain't no way I'm ever changing. Big wheels turning, let the music play loud. American pride yelling out to the crowd. Feel the earth shake as bass drops downtown. Country living tough, we're the kings of our sound. Boots in the dirt, kicking dust in the blue sky. Ain't no city limits when you're living this high. Windows down, rolling smooth, watch them heads turn. Pop the trunk, feel my stereo system burn. Patriot heart, flags wave with my crew. Eyes on the road, ain't slowing down is what we do. Big wheels turning, let the music play loud. American pride yelling out to the crowd. Feel the earth shake as bass drops downtown. Country living tough, we're the kings of our sound. Days of toes, let the good times roll. This country life feeds my rebel soul. Rocking the night, never following a rule. Turn it up loud, cause this life is cool. Feel the earth shake as bass drops downtown. Country living tough, we're the kings of our sound.